go straight up and down. Nico kind of lines that up with the spout there. He's going to set the diameter, stretch it, and snip us free. And he's left with a wet noodle. He starts to cool the surface off. Since it's 2000 degrees, it moves and it acts. Just like honey, it's very fluid, very viscous. To gain that control, he cools it off and then traps air into the pipe. Watch the end with that nice lighter orange glob. You will start to see a bubble begin to form. And if you blinked, you missed it. It's already in there. That's glass blowing. That's our demo. So the wide range of temperatures we work with is 2,000 degrees coming out of our furnace. On the cold end of things, 1,000 degrees. And then below 1,000 degrees, we're not worried about that anymore. But again, Nico gathers up that second layer of hot material. And right now he knows if he stops spinning, the bubble on the inside will stay still, but the other new glass could drip right to the floor. So to soften that bubble back up and to evenly, shape out his newest, softest layer of glass, he takes a wet wooden tool to kind of scoop it and cone it up to create a very Q-tip-esque or rounded sort of shape on the end there. Anyone know what that pad is made out of? Any guesses? We have some glass blowers in the front row. That's a wet wad of newspaper right there, wet wad of newspaper. And we actually just made this one today. What we do is take about 7 to 10 sheets. Nico, do you remember how many sheets you took today? That's all right. It's about 7 to 10 sheets. I know Nico made this one this morning. We set ourselves up for the next step. We're always thinking ahead. So I think Nico's thinking ahead about going into one of these cups on the floor here. And these cups, they're metal and they have texture. Low, nice and strong. Plunge it in there, you can hear that nice solid push. And then when he comes out of that mold, a bunch of beautiful texture. Pretty nuts, right? Go ahead, we'll give that up for Nico. Beautiful, beautiful application of that texture there. Now, I know I mentioned it was a mold. By no few pieces on the floor here. Again, a bowl with those straight lines, a nice compote flared with those straight lines as well. And we could even do fun things. As opposed to keeping just those straight lines, we can actually twist them up. And again, you see another form, right? Different than those other pieces there. But again, all that just to say Nico is not stuck to any one shape. He could still make whatever his heart desires here. And we're going to see, he's utilizing some gravity at first. He'll cool off this far section. Whatever he makes, no matter what shape it is, this is going to be the bottom, the part pointing at me. That little valley right down over there, the thinnest point, not that middle one where he still has the sort of bulbous and then long neck section. It's the even tinier connection there to go for here. But he's just cooling and shaping the bottom portion here as well. Again, that bottom part, we usually want to maintain the thickest ratio of our glass, the thickest portion of our material, relatively on that bottom center point for some strength and extra stability there. But he's popping that hose off. Lets me know he's there. This will be one of the hottest methods we apply our glass in. It's going to happen relatively fast. I'm just going to deliver Nico a nice hot blob. Whenever he gets ready, he'll stick it, wind it up on the side there, and pull it to a thin enough thread to cast it free. Now, he's going to take that hot mass, he'll settle it back to create a really nice landing spot and start to cone up that shape. Now, all while he's shaping that glass up, you can see how hot it is, but the rest of his piece is rapidly cooling off. So Nico has a timer in his head. Whenever that timer starts really ringing like an alarm clock, he's going to go back into that chamber to make sure that the rest of the glass that looks clear is still hot enough. The very edge. And he's going to create what we know as a beautiful spool stem. A sort of a volio shape with a nice landing pad in the very bottom there. Now that landing pad, that's not the foot or the base. If it was, it might stand up straight for a second or two, but I know if I sneeze in the wrong direction. Slightly different. We're going to actually drop this glass onto Nico's piece. So I'll just keep it nice and round. Nico's going to get set up with a pair of shears, and he tucks that pipe into his toe. Now when he gets ready, we'll drip it right on top. I'll hold steady, and he snips us free. And now he's left with a hot mass. He has 2 wet wooden paddles. They open like a book, so that once he sets it back, he opens it, reads a couple pages, and then spins that glass and squeezes into a beautifully round foot. He makes that look really easy, and it happens in the blink of an eye. But I could assure you, it's way harder than he makes it look. Nico has a really great understanding of the material, a wonderful relationship with the glass. he's been blowing glass for up connected onto for a little bit. But again, I'll create that sort of flat plane, the shelf or table that the foot will rest on. And Nico just shapes out. He's going to grab control. Now he sticks us right on the bottom center. He hit bullseye. And we're just going to roll back and forth. Now whenever he feels like the glass is nice and settled, nice and stable, he's going to shock that little valley with some water and a tap to the pipe. I'll hold my breath. What do you say we give him a round of applause there? Beautiful transfer. There's gold in there, or if it's because I like pink, couldn't tell you. But Nico pulled out some of that material. He's going to actually cut this not in a straight line. He's going to dive in a little deeper and create a little bit of a high and a low spot. Now it's very subtle. You can probably see it from the side there. And maybe he doesn't want to add a handle. Maybe he doesn't want a pitcher. He wants, I've heard this term, a carafe. I don't know if anyone else knows that. I feel fancy saying it, but I think a carafe, I see a couple nods, it's a more or less a pitcher without a handle. But he's opened that up quite nice. A round handle, a textured handle. But Nico let me know he wants just a nice simple round handle. He has a bunch of texture on his piece already. I think he wants to keep just some nice clean elements to it. But I'm just going to shape it up in the air a little bit. And I'll begin to shape it across our table as well. Now again, this metal table takes a good amount of heat out of our material. So I don't want to spend too much time on here. I'll just kind of get a nice, even, slightly tapered. I'll wait for that nice cue. We'll go straight up and down. Nico kind of lines that up with the spout there. He's going to set the diameter, stretch it, and snip us free. And he's left with a wet noodle on the side. Now he grabs that noodle. He's going to give it a beautiful tuck and a curl. And watch this. A nice stick on the side. What do you say we give him a round of applause for that beautiful handle application? You can all really see that coming together. Oh, and wow, some extra heat there. He added another beautiful crease in that fold. A nice, we call this an S handle, or a scroll handle. That one looking phenomenal. From cracking is to slowly cool it off. This box right by Nico.